Or just put a turd.
No.
Doo-doo
A
head.
studly turd?
A doo-doo.
A turdly stud?
How about just type poo-poo pee-pee caca or something? I don't know.
No,
That's how we get down.
no, it's all, yeah, return to the
Yeah.
No,
Or
that didn't
just share. So you're sharing that with me. So I don't think anyone else
Everybody
will
afraid to
see
3,
that
2,
one.
1. Already?
Why?
Well, here, go to your stream. Start typing.
Is that my stream?
Yeah, that's your stream right there. So just type something.
We still have
See
2
right
more
here?
minutes. So.
Click on that link right there.
Dave?
Circles or people. So
I
with
have
that,
I have a WordPress system.
yeah. So what you can do is you can make it public so everybody can see it, or you can choose which people or which circles you want to.
Okay, so
Broadcast
there we
it.
go.
Hey, do you guys mind if I set up a chair down by you?
Please do.
Shredder.
How it goes?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Oh, not too much. Oh,
I just wanted to prove that I got it.
yeah, that's pretty good.
I could go live.
No, man, it's been awful. I've had to actually talk to people online that expect normal names. Weird.
Normal names. What's that?
I have. That's right. No one remembers me if I use a normal name.
Goes really good with a Hefeweizen.
Oh, does okay. Alex?
I'm guessing.
Oh,
I grab one.
Did Alex steal your lemonade? That's
What? No, I gave it to him. Since he was drinking one, and since he's a stud and he's helping me.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Everybody likes lemonade.
Lemonade or Lemonheads, beer, and WordPress.
We think it would go good with a Corona.
It's a good
That sounds like a tweet right there.
Who came to Developer Day? Yay. What'd you think? It was our second Developer Day. Went well? Yeah. We covered a lot of ground on Developer Day. Right?
That was a long night.
It's good though.
Yeah.
For those of you who aren't familiar, we do two meetings a month now. This is our general WordPress meetup, which we cover more uses of WordPress plugins, things like that. We tend to keep this a little bit middle of the road as far as technical goes. But on the middle of the month now, we do Developer Day, where we talk ones and zeros. So if you can speak binary, that's the day for you. What else happened since last time? WordCamp? Yep. Who went to WordCamp? What'd you think? Yeah? It was good? What was your favorite session? That was a good session, yeah. Yes.
I was most impressed and most intimidated by Kelly.
Kelly.
She was off the hook. I
Good.
mean, it was like, oh my God, I don't deserve to breathe.
Excellent.
Her
She-
presentation was awesome.
Yes,
She did a great job.
I came in late, and I'm so glad that I didn't miss. I mean, I'm sorry I came in late, but oh my God,
I'd like to have
So-
one of her working for me.
she's
You can't have her.
yeah, she's
Can't
amazing.
afford her.
Don't ever let her go.
Don't tell her that.
I've already told her. I sent her an email. I said I hope that.
So we went to. There was a speaker reception before the after party where we all went, and they kind of reviewed all the speakers. And an email came in and said from a guy that said he watched the whole live stream. He did his whole first WordCamp remotely from the West Indies.
Wow.
Okay, and said he loved the whole experience, and Kelly was his favorite. That was the comment that came in. So
Nice.
So all night everybody was saying that. Hey, Kelly, I hear you're huge in the Caribbean.
No, she's brilliant.
She did a great job.
Yeah.
So I was proud of her. Gwen, hi. What else? What are the sessions?
I really liked the town hall a lot.
Town hall was good. Yeah, Matt did a good job.
It was just all around good.
Christina,
Which one was that?
Oh yeah, it was.
second on the website.
Yeah, the ones that
Second
all the
on
developers are
facing which way?
On the light side,
Well, the pink room or the blue room?
there were two women in the first
session,
two.
actually.
The first session, the get familiar with WordPress session, or the photography session?
No, the other one, yeah.
One of the guys that was on the core WordPress team gave a session about sort of how WordPress is organized as a company, and how people get on the core WordPress team, and it was a very short session, but I thought it was interesting. Alex, you were
I was there. It was interesting. It was a little dry.
It was dry, but I actually learned.
No,
about
you're
things.
fine.
I learned,
You're fine,
I learned how it works.
They want to see the screen more than the
WordPress
people.
gems.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that, I wasn't.
That's weird.
That's what everybody keeps telling me.
We're
I
gonna,
don't care about the people.
Okay.
Are
Yeah,
they
the
on
screen
like,
look make you small, right?
At some point, it'll
Yeah.
all be on WordPress TV.
Oh.
At some point, because they tape.
I was
they
trying to
taped
get
everything,
it so that I can
When is the OC?
I wanted
one
to,
gonna be on WordPress TV? Is it on
take the
yet?
video feed off the TV
The
and
oh,
pipe it in.
oh, I don't know.
Problem
This
is
past
this
one?
TV
Yeah.
doesn't
Yeah.
have the video out.
I
I don't
keep
know.
waiting.
Oh, it doesn't support
I think
it.
last I heard from Brandon, the tapes were delivered, and they were just waiting for it to go online. So
I'm waiting because I want to see everything I didn't see.
Yeah,
yeah,
me too. There was a lot of good sessions.
we actually had they created a kind of a makeshift Genius bar, or it became more the OC WordPress hangout. So one of the rooms was we had our own little makeshift meetup.
That's
Yeah,
Kat's
during-
fault, you know.
During WordCamp. What's that?
That was Kat's fault.
Was it?
You know, she's the one that named it that.
That's
She
all right.
tweeted it out.
That's okay.
It's amazing. I mean, there were people as I left going, "Where's room 201? Where's the Genius bar?" And I thought, "How did you know?"
That's
The guy goes, "I tweeted it."
That's funny. Anybody go to the after party? Yeah, yeah, I felt about the same way. Yeah.
You drink too much?
Matt Mullenweg can
Yeah.
drink.
Yeah.
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 So, so I was actually, I'll tell you something interesting. I was there the night before for the there was a speaker and sponsor dinner the night before, and it was at this old hotel in the Gaslamp district. And I went up. We were all just kind of drinking and eating. I went up to the roof to watch. There was some fireworks going on in the bay, and there was a group of people sitting in the corner. So I sat down and started talking, and just shooting the shit, and I introduced myself. I said, "Oh, by the way, hi, I'm Steve." And they said, "Yeah, I'm Matt." I just didn't think anything of it. And so we just kept talking. We were just talking about life and code, and it was Matt Mullenweg. Yeah, I didn't even realize it. Didn't recognize him. Just hanging
You
out.
just say to him, "You know what? I think you're a good kid. Good luck to you.
Yeah.
Good luck in life."
I think you're gonna go places.
I think you do well. And by the way, get a haircut.
Yeah. So yeah, the after party, Matt brought out the. I learned what an Irish car bomb was the hard way, twice.
Yes.
So
Yes, you did.
yes, it did.
Now, I heard that you guys ran out of Baileys. Is that what you normally use?
Bailey's,
Yeah.
Bailey's, from what I learned, is what you normally drop into
And what kind of
Guinness
whiskey?
with a little bit of whiskey. A little
And what kind of
Bailey's
whiskey?
and Irish
Oh, yeah.
whiskey.
Is it a
I've
single
tried.
malt?
Sure.
Gotta be. Gotta be.
They ran out of
Oh,
Bailey's
gone online.
for the second round. I didn't know this, but
$80.
the shot we dropped into the
This
Guinness
one's okay.
was straight Irish whiskey. There
Sure.
was no Bailey's in that one.
It's kind of
So,
rubbery. Yeah.
Jeff.
So,
So
It's
so
decent.
I didn't know this until it was halfway down. But I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna be a wimp around Matt Mullenweg. You gotta finish the shot.
Oh,
Matt Mullenweg buys you a shot. You finish the shot.
damn it.
Damn it. Yeah.
The truth of that story is actually Steve had been drinking so much that we were just kind of passed out on the bar and we were whispering in his ear, "You're drinking with Matt Mullenweg."
Somebody pinch me.
I did consume a lot of alcohol that night.
Oh, you're funny.
Anyway, so tonight we got we have a few things to talk about. I'm going to start by talking about video and audio embedding. I'm going to talk a little bit about HTML5, the media element JS plugin, and what that's all about. Brandon can't make it tonight. He was going to do an e-commerce portion, but Jeff's going to do a makeshift portion on the spot.
I'm doing what?
You'll know when it's time.
Okay, do I get to know the topic though?
E-commerce, shop. We're gonna
I
talk a
don't
little bit about
I don't
shop.
have version 1.2 yet though.
You're gonna talk about it anyway.
Okay. You can
And
do
then
it.
there was one other session we had planned, and I can't remember what it was.
Greg is gonna show us a plugin.
Greg was gonna show us something.
Yeah.
All right.
You ready for that, right?
Sure.
Okay, great, excellent.
No booing.
Your white labeled support, right?
No.
You know,
yeah, that's actually.
I haven't done this in a while, but there are a lot of new faces in the crowd, so I'm just going to go around really quick, 10 seconds. I'd like you to just say your name and what you do. So I'll start. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Steve Zengit. My company's called Zeek Interactive. This is my office, and I do the WordPress meetups twice a month now, and I make websites, iOS apps, and video games. So I'm going to start in the back with this gentleman, this guy with his sunglasses on his head.
Oh, you're gonna point at me, huh?
Yeah.
I'm Lauren. This isn't my office, but I think I know that guy Steve. And I show people how to make their websites with. I'm Dave, backend developer. Been playing with Wordpress for about 2 years. PHP for 6 or 7.
Days? Or years? 6 or 7 days? Or no? Moment's gone.
Jason Johnson, business owner, like to play with websites and learn about this and have a few sites and need to learn more. So
cool.
I'm soaking it in.
And I'm Terry Masick. I'm a graphic and web designer for about 22 years now. Jason's one of my clients, so I brought him along and I'm getting him converted to WordPress and
Nice.
know a little bit of code, but not too much.
Cool.
My name's Dave. I'm a freelance web designer, developer, sort of. Trying to learn what I can about WordPress.
I'm Patrick. I'm an environmental scientist. I got a lot of technical articles and 5 books. I'm trying to get Lauren to teach me how to put them on the website, and I need to learn WordPress as well.
Great.
I'm Sandra. I'm his wife, and I just learned how to spell WordPress.
Don't forget to capitalize that P. I've been yelled at myself.
I'm Brett, and I'm in construction management and for about the last few years, and also apparel, so I'm kind of learning the ropes of web development.
Dennis Carpenter, site entrepreneur.
There's another chair in the back. I think there's 2 more.
There's 2 back here.
Yep.
I'm Art. I am in the fitness industry, and we micro-brand for various trainers and clubs.
Great.
Ryan Miskowski, I'm a life career redo coach. I'm trying to do a couple of sites also. And you guys rock because I learned so much by osmosis. I can't tell you how much I get from you guys. So thanks.
We missed one in the back. Here, Twan.
Ton, yeah. My name's Ton, and I sell flooring, and I use WordPress at my own website, and I just love WordPress because it's so powerful. There's so many features. That's why I learn it first I can.
Great. You just came in.
Okay, all right.
You to be put on the spot.
All right. My name's Bob. Just getting into the business. Taking some courses down at Saddleback, some online courses, HTML and MySQL, and starting to learn WordPress. My son actually was down in San Diego. He was one of the live blogger guys, tall guy.
Cool.
So he's in the business as well. So he's told me WordPress is the way to go, Dad. Forget all the other stuff. So I'm
smart.
It's gonna go places.
My name is Charmaine, and I am an event planner and marketing person, and I am a WordPress enthusiast.
Cool. Great.
Greg Franklin, I'm a developer designer.
Douglas Kuhn, I'm a freelance web developer, PHP and WordPress.
Great.
Alice, I'm Strickland. I do social media for small businesses, and I'm asked to do WordPress sites and stuff.
Great.
I'm Mary Ann Epstein, and I help people with their WordPress sites and anything computer.
And who's this?
Oh, this is Petey. I love puppy and training. And he's past the 5-month mark, so let's leave him alone.
I'm happy that filled him out. oil painter and artist, and I just have to learn more about WordPress and PHP.
I'm Suzette. I have about 150 WordPress websites I develop exclusively in WordPress, and I'm trying to teach myself plugins, how to make plugins.
We skipped a row.
I'm Ed, designer developer as well.
Right.
I'm Priscilla, designer developer.
Oh,
Whatever.
Right? I'm Alex, and WordPress is stupid. No,
Stupid good.
You'll say anything about that.
I own an online marketing design and development company, and I've been using WordPress for a little over 2 years, and it's awesome.
Jason Tucker. I'm actually streaming live, so if you yeah. So if you go out, if you look on Twitter, hashtag is OCWP, and if you see a tweet, retweet it, and we can see if we can get a lot of people checking out the video stream here.
I'm Rashid. I'm a student, and I'm here to learn WordPress.
How do you like your Galaxy tab there?
I love it.
My Galaxy tab.
Hey, I'm Shredder, and I work at DreamHost to basically contribute to WordPress and kind of contribute to the community as much as I can.
Cool. Let's start over here. This guy.
My name's Jeff. I do a few WordPress sites, and I help put on the Orange County WordCamp.
Just a few.
Yeah,
just a few.
Just a few.
My name is Bertha Town. I'm a graphic designer, and I just started to use WordPress for my job.
Right.
My name is Dora. I just started to know about WordPress.
I'm Steve Kane. I'm a web designer.
Great. So all of you designers meet. Oh, we missed one. Sorry. Humphrey.
Hi, my name's Humphrey. I used to work at DreamHost, and now I am a Warzone photographer. I just came back from Libya.
Wow. That's quite a transition.
Wow.
Hosting provider was too scary for me.
That is awesome.
After the meetup, I want all the designers to pair with a developer and make a company. Anyway, that's what this is all about. This is not just a learning event, but this is a networking event. So this actually is a very cool group. We sort of stumbled upon this. I mean, we just sort of started it because we like WordPress. I say we. My business partner Jeff Turner is usually here. He hosts the meetups with me. He's up in San Francisco right now for the Inman conference. So a lot of the real estate people are up in San Francisco right now, which is going on this week. But we started this just because this is what we're into, and it's grown into a really great group. If you're not already on the Facebook group, we do have an online version of the group on Facebook. Send me an email after or contact me on Facebook, and I'll add you if you're already on there. Very active Facebook groups. If you have any question, no question is a dumb question on that group, and everybody is dying to help you out and answer your questions. So it's been a really great addition to the group as well. All right, so let's talk about video and audio embedding. If I had given this talk a year ago, I would have told you install the embedded video plugin or Viper's video quick tags or something along those lines. Everybody knows I've been a big fan of VVQ for a long time. It's been a standard thing that I install inside of most of my WordPress sites. But a lot of that has changed recently with what's called an O-embed. Does anybody know what? Anybody heard this term? O-embed? Okay. O-embed. Oh. So an O-embed, a lot of the standard sites like YouTube, Hulu, I'll show you a whole list of the sites, have kind of standardized how they embed code into your website. WordPress uses, anybody that's using an O-embed WordPress has it already built into the software. You don't even need a plugin. You just put in the URL and it'll write the embed code for you. It's called an O-embed.
So you don't need to copy WordPress's embed code.
You don't. I'm going to show you how it works.
I mean, YouTube.
Exactly. You don't have to copy YouTube's embed code. I will post this on the Facebook group, but there is. Let me exit full screen here. Oh, no exit full screen button. So I guess we're going to full screen. This is OSX Lion, by the way, and I'm using full screen browsing mode inside of Chrome. But this is on the WordPress Codex. I just did a search for O-embed. This is going to give you all of the information I'm about to discuss. So you don't necessarily have to take notes on this. This is all available for you on the WordPress Codex. And I will post this to the Facebook group after we're done. But basically what this is saying is it gives you a quick example of how Flickr does an O-embed tag. Where before, if you were going to copy a Flickr photo or a Flickr album, you'd actually get a little bit of embed code that you copy and put into your WordPress post. You don't have to do that anymore. All you have to do is put in the URL. If you know the site's using an O-embed, all you have to do is throw in that URL. And there is a whole list of. I'm on the wrong page. We go to the right page here. There you go. That's what I was looking for. So there's a list of the stuff that's already built into WordPress. YouTube, Vimeo, Dailymotion, Hulu, Blip, Flickr. These things are already all set up inside the WordPress core. You don't need a plugin to do this. You don't need anything special. Out of the box, WordPress will basically work with all of these sites. And if you're a developer and you have a site that you know is using O-embed that's not built in, this can be extended. So you're not locked into these. So as new sites get additional O-embed capabilities, they can be added to this list. Is this making sense so far? So how do you do it? Easier than you think. So I'm going to go to a site that's one of my development sites. I'm just going to Yakbox. Let's grab a YouTube. Grab a YouTube video here. So I don't need the embed code anymore. I don't need to copy anything out of the little YouTube buttons. All I need here is the URL. So if I copy this YouTube URL, that's all I'm going to put in the body of my post to make this work. Let's go ahead and we'll create a new post.
So I noticed you didn't highlight the whole thing. Just
You know, I can highlight the whole thing. I just didn't take the little feature equals. It's just a habit. So let's put in some extra text here just so we can see.
Baking in some.
Yeah.
One other little tiny tip, you can put ampersand rel equals 0 so you don't see the related videos at the end of the video.
Oh, on the at the end of the YouTube URL. Okay, let's try that. Let's try that in a second. I just threw in a paragraph of fake text. At the end, again, all I have is. Whoop, sorry, I'm still getting used to the line scrolling. All I have is the YouTube URL. I didn't put in the object code. I didn't put in the embed code. All I'm putting in is the URL. WordPress does the rest. So it can recognize this pattern, and it will do all the O-embed stuff behind the scenes, and then embed the YouTube player in the post. Want to see it happen? Publish it.
Can you do that with visual tab too? Probably.
With the visual tab, absolutely. Yeah. View the post. There's my YouTube video. I don't have any plugins installed on this website. It's a clean, out of the box install of WordPress. So it's installing that YouTube player for me. Cool stuff.
And alignment and size, it's all taken.
I'll show you how to do that in a second. So this is grabbing the default YouTube size and it's aligning left. That's just sort of the default way. But you absolutely have size controls, and anything you can control inside of YouTube can be tacked on to that. You do it with a shortcode though.
Right.
It takes a little bit of extra work. But does this make sense so far?
Yeah, do you have to use the brackets to identify the elements?
I didn't do anything. All I did was put in the URL.
But if you wanted to size it up,
That's when we put in the brackets. I'll do that next. But just before I move on, this is easy enough. Okay, again, if you've got WordPress, this is already built in for you. And all the sites that I showed you, they're already there, ready to be recognized. It's there for you out of the box. Much easier for my clients to do this than to remember how to either bracket things or put in a copy in an embed code. Sometimes you put in the embed code, you put it in the wrong tab, and it erases part of your tags. Much easier this way. Okay? So how do we start adjusting sizes? That was the next question. Again, back on this page with the, let me make sure I'm on the right page here. So inside of the WordPress codex, it gives you a description of the shortcode. So if you want to start adjusting sizes, you will use this embed bracketed code. Okay, so you'll wrap that URL in an embed bracket, and then you can put in things like width and height, or any other features that might be available inside of a adjusting a YouTube player. Okay, so let's go ahead and try that. It's about as large as I can go on this screen. So all I've done here is I've added an open bracket. I've wrapped my URL. I've added an open bracket with embed, width and height, and then I've got a close bracket at the end of the URL. So close embed. That's how a WordPress shortcode works. Okay. Again, this is already built into WordPress. I'm going to go ahead and we'll update this.
Steve?
Yep.
What's the domain you're on? Is it Yakbox or something?
Yeah, it's just one of my test domains. It's just a development domain I use. View to post. Hope this works. Yep. So now I believe my player got smaller. Did it? Yeah. Let's make sure. It didn't quite get as small as I intended, so I'm doing something a little bit smaller.
Testing on the iPad.
Anyway, I've done something wrong, but that's essentially how to do it. So again, all those other sites I showed, this will work the exact same way. You just put in a URL if you want to make height and width adjustments, same kind of thing. Make sense? Easy enough to do?
Can you share the URL?
Yeah. That?
So you have an embed in the beginning and at the end, right?
I have a bracketed embed,
Okay.
a width and a height variable, and then a close embed at the end.
Okay.
That's a WordPress shortcode.
Where would we find a list of all potential parameters?
I believe it's going to be site specific. So if you look back on the codex page,
I'm there.
it's got the basics, but as far as the parameters go, I could be wrong, but I believe it's going to be site specific. So YouTube has width and height, autoplay. So those are some of the things that are specific to YouTube.
So if you go to YouTube, you do search on shortcodes or what?
I think you do a search on how their embed code is structured. So if you look at their embed parameters, maybe in their API, I haven't looked in a while, but this is going to be site specific. Okay. Anybody correct me if I'm wrong here, but I believe that's what it's going to be. Because Flickr's not going to have an autoplay because you're dealing with photos. What was the one we talked about turning on or off? Was the related Oh yeah.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
No.
rel equals 0.
Yeah. But that's at the end of the URL. Is that correct? So.
Nice
So-
show to this movie.
So right now we've got where are the relative
It's
At
at
the
the
end.
end.
After you play it,
Yeah.
it starts carousel.
everybody's eating at my bandwidth. Damn you.
Bigger office, more bed.
So we're talking about that, right? So let's see if we can turn that off. Let's take the embed code back out. So it's rel equals false.
Zero.
Okay. And that is an embed. That's a YouTube parameter that we're adding on the. Okay. Did I do O or 0?
It looks like it.
It does look like an O, doesn't it? It's only one beer in.
Your efforts disappoint me.
No, it's 0.
It's just the font.
Weird.
Come on. Now that I'm in full screen mode, does anybody know how I get out of full screen mode? It might be a Chrome bug. No. But usually there's a button right here.
I'd say F11, but you don't have F11.
We don't know what those are. It's a Mac. We don't know what that is.
Like Command F or something maybe?
Let's see.
Damn, Mac computers are just weird.
That's true.
There's no view in
It's at F13.
That too.
Command Shift F. Maybe.
Sweet.
Try the view menu.
So it still came up with the relative links at the end.
Question mark REL equals.
Is it? Did I? Oh, did I do
It's
an
the
and?
first one maybe.
Yeah. My bad. There we go.
It's the first no,
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 it's not the first parameter.
All right. Well,
Dunno.
stuff to play with.
That
But
is homework.
I'll post this link so you can have all the information on embedding video and audio with this tag. So O embed is what you're looking for if you want more info. And like I said, there's a lot of information on the WordPress codex. Any questions before I move on? Okay, so I'm going to tell you what I know about HTML5 so far, and it's not a lot, but I do know that that's where things seem to be headed. I know it's going to take a while. If you've used Google Plus, it's heavy on HTML5. You'll experience a lot of drag and drop kind of features there. What HTML5 gets you is a lot less code and more tags to do things that you might be struggling with right now. Again, it's a very vague description of from a developer standpoint of what I'm looking forward to in HTML5. But one of the things I like about it, when you're doing a video embed, it can actually adjust what video plays based on the device. So a lot of that stuff sort of automatically gets picked for you. And one of the sessions that was given at San Diego WordCamp, which I thought was really interesting, was the one on responsive design. Is that the right word for it?
Right.
Responsive design. Okay. So you will start to hear this more and more, but responsive design is taking one theme, okay, that basically adjusts itself based on the device you're on. So a lot of things we struggle with and we talk about in this group are, what do you do for a mobile theme when it comes to WordPress? You know, how do you switch between the browser, the mobile device? You know, how do you make your themes mobile specific? With HTML5, with responsive design, that actually all kind of goes away because your theme sort of adjusts itself per device. So one of the links I posted on the Facebook group today was for a theme I found called Yoko. There's several of them, but I actually, the reason I picked this one in particular is it was the one that seemed the most simple for a responsive theme. So let me show you what it looks like. Actually, we were looking at it here. This is what it looks like on a browser. So it looks very similar to 2011, you know, 2010 or 2011. It's got an image at the top. I've got 3 columns. We've got the date here. We've got our main column here. Sorry, 4 columns: categories and then recent posts. So we've got a couple sidebars. Very, very typical theme. But because it was built in HTML5, it actually adjusts itself when you're on a different device. So let me show you what it looks like on an iPad. So an iPad viewed in landscape mode, it looks very similar to the browser. You see, I've got my column here. Actually, we're now missing the categories column, so it knows that we're on a different size, and it's adjusted that categories column for this size. And I've got my sidebar here. But watch when I turn to portrait mode, it actually gets rid of that column on the left, and now makes it more of a 2-column layout. Again, same theme. It's all being done with CSS.
Yeah, and it puts it in the footer.
It puts it in the footer, exactly. So it's now put all my sidebar stuff in the footer, but adjusted the sidebar for the width of the screen. So it actually all looks, it doesn't necessarily break. It still looks decent on this device. Even better.
We even changed the embedded video too.
It did.
Yeah.
Well, here's what's even sweeter is on an iPhone.
Try refreshing it. I'm curious.
Yeah, let's try that.
Don't text me right now. So I don't know. You're probably not going to be able to see this very well, but on an iPhone it comes up with a 1-column layout. So there's no sidebars. It's got my basically my content column there, and then all of my sidebar stuff is pushed to the bottom. Again, all with one theme. There's no separate mobile theme for this. So this is really pretty powerful stuff. This is a major time saver from a development standpoint. Unfortunately, this requires HTML5, so this isn't going to work on outdated browsers. You need a current browser. You need a device that's HTML5 compatible. So we're not quite there yet, but things like Google Plus and sites that are more forward-thinking are going to push us there. They're trying to push us there as fast as possible. And frankly, I'm excited about this. I mean, I need to be there.
Works on Android too. I just tried it.
Yep. So what it's doing is it's actually adjusting based on screen width. It's not really device. It knows the width of the screen. There's a couple different terms for this. There's responsive design, 960. There's a 960 grid system, which a lot of this stuff is built off of. I'm not going to get into the details here, but you can do research at 960.gs. Is the place to do some research on that. There's a whole topic on it at WordCamp, and I think we're going to start hearing more and more about this, as we move forward with HTML5. So really interesting stuff. This Yoko theme, again, if you do a search for HTML5 and WordPress, that's the search I did today. This is one of the first themes that came up. There's several of them. We've talked about Bones in here in the past, right? Okay. There's Bones. There's what's the other one?
Roots.
Roots.
Roots
So
theme.
Bones and Roots are already HTML5 compatible. Yeah.
Steve, are you giving it like the categories disappears on your iPad, right?
Yes.
Categories column. Were you giving it priority?
I didn't do a thing. This is out of the box. I didn't touch anything.
It pushes it down to the bottom.
Yeah, categories are actually there. I don't know. I would imagine if you wanted to give priorities, that's more of a development thing. Again, I didn't do anything the same. I just installed it and tried it today. So I'm just reporting on what I found.
Okay, gotcha.
But this is pretty powerful stuff. So if you want to know more about this, do a little search on HTML5 and WordPress. Yeah.
In 2 weeks for developers, I'll make a presentation on all this.
Excellent.
How everything works.
Excellent. So a reason to come to Developer Day. Thank you very much. You have anything to add with what I've said so far?
Basically, it's actually not necessarily HTML5, it's CSS. It's CSS3 that does. Exactly. And basically what you're doing, you're adding what they're called media queries. And you say, if the device is 700 pixels width, then you take this whole layout and do this with it. You actually write some CSS code in there and you tell it, for that column to disappear, you just put that column display none. So that's how everything disappears. Or you move the layout, you change all that stuff within the code in the CSS. And basically the good part is the old browsers are gonna ignore all this. So basically the way you create this
You write your CSS like you would write it for, let's say, Internet Explorer 6. You know, so it works in Internet. Let's not say it.
Right.
Okay. So IE7. So everything works from IE7 up, and then for the kind of like for most of the iPads, most of the iPhones, and all the other devices will work with CSS3 and HTML5 by default because they have the latest browsers on them. So that's the beauty of it. You don't really have to. Once you have it working for all the browsers, you have those CSS, the CSS3 media queries in there, and it's going to do everything else for your web, for the mobile devices. The only drawback for the mobile devices is even if you say display none, if you have images and a lot of stuff on the page that you don't want to display on the iPhone, you can set those ones to display none, but they will still be loaded. So there is no kind of like the page displayed on an iPhone, it's not going to be less weight than the one displayed on a PC.
So in HTML5, are there any tags that are gone, depreciated or not going to be available anymore?
Several. Yes, there are a lot of them. Fonts, center, some of those older tags.
They use div a lot less.
Right. They've added a lot
use
more.
it.
You'll use it, but you'll use things like header. There's header, footer, video, audio.
Telephone.
Yeah, they've added a lot of stuff like that. Yeah. Thank you. Appreciate it. So, part of the reason I wanted to show this theme was to segue into a plugin I wanted to show, which is called MediaElement.js. We've talked about it a lot in this group, but I don't know that we've ever demoed it. Again, I'm just going to give you the basics of what I've found so far, but what this plugin does is, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but this actually does use HTML5 to choose the proper form of video you want to show based on the device, right?
I don't know.
That is okay. So that is what's doing. So it actually knows which device specific which video it needs to serve. You basically give it a couple different options, and it's going to serve the appropriate video based on the device. Okay. I don't remember if I posted the link to this plugin or not, but I will put this on the Facebook group. If you want to look for this, it's MediaElement.js is the website. And there is a link right to a WordPress plugin. Okay. So start with the settings page here. There's just a couple of basic settings. You put in a width and height, and you choose a default skin. And I'll show you a couple of different skins. The skins are just the player design that you get with MediaElement. Default type is what kind of video I essentially want to serve first, is what you're putting in here. And then same thing with audio settings. There's both a video player and an audio player. And this is nice. What I like about this is in the past for my clients, I've actually had to serve two different plugins for video and audio. We've either used VVQ or embedded video plugin for video, and for audio we use I think it's WP Audio is the one we've used in the past. But there's a few of them as well. This gathers everything in sort of one plugin. But the nice thing about it is this particular technology, MediaElement.js, does all of the browser-specific stuff for you. So the old plugins were sort of locked into Flash. They didn't play on an iOS device. These plugins do. So these plugins give you an option for an iOS device. I'm going to show you this playing in both the browser and on an iPad in a second. Make sense? Okay. So when I'm ready to install something, a MediaElement video, and what I did is I stole the sample videos off of MediaElement.js. So I actually didn't upload any videos here. I'm just using stuff that they were hosting on their site. The tag is a little bit tougher than the one I showed earlier. It's not an automatic WordPress thing, but it's very similar to the shortcode we did. So the shortcode here is open bracket video. That's how MediaElement knows to recognize that this is a video it needs to serve. And then I've put in basically the three different video types I want to serve. So I've given an MP4 option, an OGG option, which I wasn't even familiar with before I started playing with this plugin, and then a WebM option, And then there's a couple other things here. I've given it a poster image, which is basically an image that shows when the video first loads. It's the still image, width and height. Yes, I want it to preload, and yes, I want it to autoplay. So I've added a couple of extra settings here within the shortcode.
Just in case people are understanding, the plugin is if you want to host your own video file. If your video is not on YouTube, correct?
That is correct. These are assets.
Your own AVI file, your own MPEG
Thank
file,
you.
your own
Yes.
physical file, and you didn't want to put it on YouTube, and say you're doing it like a behind the scenes, like a membership site where you don't want people to view the file unless they paid you for their membership to your site.
That is correct. These are hosted videos that are not already sort of run through YouTube or Vimeo or one of those services.
But also isn't that better for SEO because you're not sending them off to YouTube, you're keeping it within your site.
Well, it is better for SEO. If you embed a YouTube video, it always has that button that'll take them to YouTube. So yes, this gets rid of that for
If
you.
I remember correctly, Media Element also gives you the option to create embed codes where people can embed it from your site. Or it was a different one I used, but
That could be true. I'm not sure.
there's one I used a year and a half ago, and I don't know if it was, I can't remember if it was Media Element. I don't have the login with me, and it was similar to where I had all those tags. I did video, and I could say if I wanted MP4 or FLV or whatever, and then I could actually even turn on an embed option where I can give my visitors the option to embed my video on their own site.
That could be true. I'm not seeing anything. I didn't see anything on the front page for that, but if I dig a little bit deeper, and I find it, I'll put it on the Facebook group.
Probably, I would say yes.
So I'm on the Media Element JS page. I've just taken their same links for video here. I didn't upload video myself, but again, these are videos that they've hosted. These aren't going through a video service like YouTube. Here's a couple examples of the skins. So here's the default skin. They've got one called the TED skin, and they've got one called the WMP skin. Again, just different looks for the video player. And you can set those on a video by video basis with those little parameters I was just showing. Same thing with audio. Here's the audio player. So that's what an audio player would look like when it's embedded in the post. Same kind of thing. You put in an MP3 file or a WAV file. Okay. Yeah.
Can you do a playlist of MP3s?
I'm not sure. I don't see anything offhand, but again, it's something we can research and put on the group. The reason I wanted to bring up this particular URL is because everything under here will give you information about all those parameters I was showing. So again, this is mediaelementjs.com. I'm sorry, is the URL. Again, I'll put this on the Facebook group. But this gives you basically all the things you can set within that plugin. It also tells you it tells you how to set up your server if you're not hosting the particular file types that you need to host. Again, it's a little bit of technical information there.
Was that mediaelement.js.com or
mediaelementjs.com?
Thank you.
Yep. So let's see what this looks like. I'm going to go ahead and publish this post. We'll view it.
Do you have to have more than one format, so MGG, MP4?
You don't have to, but that basically makes it so that those options are there that are going to be device specific. You can put in whatever formats you want, and it'll try its best.
Right.
So if I only have a format that doesn't play on an iOS or an Android, it's just not. I don't know what's going to happen at that point. I think your device blows up. So there's the video playing inside of my browser. Again, just using the default skin. Let's reload it here. Hope this works. So again, I'm on an iOS device, and there's video playing. Which if you're using any of the Flash video players, this doesn't work. So that's really handy. iOS device, Android devices, correct me if I'm wrong, are all HTML5 compatible. So this is how this is going to work in the future. Can we see it on your on the Galaxy?
Steve, do you know if the
On my
quality
Galaxy?
stays the same?
What's that?
Do you know if the quality stays the same? Does it
I
say
think
it
it's
on
going to
the-
be. I think it's going to be video specific. So whichever it's actually chosen the video that's appropriate for this device
Right.
based on those ones I put in. So whatever quality you have for those alternative videos is what it's going to be. Let's see on Android. So there it is playing on Android. So again, one piece of embed code plays on all devices. That's really handy. That's new. And if you've ever struggled with this like I have, that's refreshing. So this is really this is a nice plugin to have and to get familiar with. If you look on the media element site, it'll give you. Let's see if it shows here. It gives you a little bit of kind of a snippet of how it writes the HTML5 code when it writes that out. So you can actually see here. Here's the video tag, which is a new tag in HTML5, and it's writing the different sources for those video files. So the plugin takes care of all this for you, and then again, the device or the browser takes care of choosing which one's appropriate for its device. So that's how it all works.
Have you seen anybody come up with a short code for that in WordPress that just kind of busts out a list of files and it just figures it out and spits it all out
without
for you?
the plugin yet.
Well, I mean with the plugin, but have you seen any WordPress specific shortcodes or WordPress specific plugins that would tie in with it?
See, besides this?
Yeah.
No. What's the matter with this? What do you
Just
say? What do you
long.
want? Well, it's only long because I've put in 3 videos, a poster frame. I've chosen a lot of options. If I didn't have the other 2 videos with poster frames or the autoplay or the preload, it's just that.
You can give it whichever ones you want to.
Yeah, it's your choice as to what you want to put in there.
Yep. If it's supposed to adjust itself for all media types, like the iPhone 4, it's only showing half the screen for the load up, the scan page. But once you play it, it adjusts itself as a player for the full media.
Mm-hmm.
But the initial introduction will only show half the.
I think it actually did that on mine as well. That's really, I think that's theme specific. I haven't delved into it enough to know. I saw that as well today. So what he's saying is I'm
seeing that more and more. When you're digging through your apps and getting videos, it's happening a lot.
So on the iPhone, it's only showing half of the poster frame. And again, that's sort of part of this whole idea of responsive design. HTML5, CSS3, it's just an issue.
What's interesting is when you do hit the play button, it shows itself in both.
But what it's doing then is it's actually going into the iPhone player. It's going into the it goes in the iPhone player. It's ignoring the browser at that point. So I don't know a workaround yet, but I am aware that that's an issue. Questions? Cool stuff?
Just so I understand this properly. So let's say I made a Camtasia movie or something like that, and then using this plugin, it will now play on any device.
You're gonna need to be able to export it to the proper formats. So if you have a Camtasia movie, you're gonna need the right formats for
like an AVI or something like that.
These aren't AVI. Anybody know what these stand for? I'm new to this. OGV?
Ogvorbis video.
Yeah.
Ogvorbis.
Ogvorbis.
Yeah, it's real popular with Linux.
Okay, and what's WebM? Is that?
That's Google's codec.
That's okay.
It's VP8.
Okay. There you go. So, what are there tools that let you take a video source file and go out to these?
Export to that.
Okay.
Yeah. You just choose what export you want. You can even if you want even choose FLV, which is Flash video, and then that'll still actually convert it what you need.
It just renders it to the format that you'll play.
Right.
There's converters for Mac. And
Yeah.
Format Factory is a good one.
Right.
Format Factory? Is that for Mac or Windows?
It's for Windows.
Okay.
Also, if you just search on the web for HTML5 video codec or conversion, like I just searched for, what was it exactly? Media Element JS encoding FFmpeg.
Okay. FFmpeg is a server side.
Well, it's a anything side.
Is it?
It's the
You just
engine that
install. It's a program that installs or that converts video rather.
Gotcha. One of the more expensive programs for the Mac is Sorensen Squeeze, which tends to do a lot of this stuff for you. But it'll cost you $800.
FFmpeg is free, which is the only reason I
FFmpeg
mentioned
is
it.
free. That's a bit of a price difference.
Free is good.
Any other questions or comments?
I like it.
Okay, yeah.
The other one that I had used and has the embed feature, which might still be something to check out, is the Stream Video Player. And it's actually Stream Video Player is the name of the plugin. If you just search for that, it's at rodrigopolo.com. And it actually gives, it has the, I'm actually looking at it right now on my phone, and I can actually play a video, and you can do it, but it also gives the ability to let your visitors embed your videos too.
So is it's his own player, or is he using the JW player?
It's using the JW player.
Okay, so JW player is an alternative for you, and this will do a lot of the things I'm showing are already available in JW player. JW player I've experienced problems with in the past. So
yeah, it was a little funky, but it worked for the solution I needed at the time.
It's more complicated.
Yeah.
But JW player is an alternative, but JW player you have to license.
Yeah.
Yes.
You have to pay for it.
Yeah, well, I don't think I needed the JW player for the site I needed because it was just an FLV file they wanted to self-host.
Any of the plugins that you're using that require JW player, they'll actually have you check a box that says, "I've paid for this player." You know, I release all liability from the plugin. You know, I take responsibility for hacking my own stuff. So yeah, but JW player is like I think $40 or something like that. I could be wrong.
It's pretty
cheap. I don't remember.
Yeah. But anyway, it is an alternative. For those of you who are new to WordPress, you do need a self-hosted WordPress site to be able to do this. You can't do this on a .com site. Okay. The difference is, and I know this is going to sound like a review for a lot of people in the room. This is discussed at WordCamp all the time. The difference is on the .com site you cannot install your own plugins and themes. You can only go with what they have. So you do need a self-hosted site to do this. Questions before we move on? Yep.
Quick question. I got a little lost with regards to what kind of video format we can upload to this. Let's say I'm doing my own video on iVideo. I mean iMovie. Do I export it in a certain type that will be compatible?
You are going to need some sort of conversion tool. You can go out to MP4 inside of iMovie, but that's about it. For these other codecs, you're going to need some sort of tool. That's what we were talking about earlier. You're going to have to Google to find a way to go out to OGV or WebApp if you want to use those formats. Again, they're not required, but that gives you the most options for those other devices that are out there.
MP4 would be pretty widespread usable though.
Probably, yeah. You're going to be covered with most devices with MP4. You're right. One of the other things that I thought was interesting inside of the Media.js player, I don't have it enabled on the one I'm showing, but it uses Google's translation engine. And I don't know if anybody caught it when I was playing this demo video, but it actually has a little translation going on at the bottom there. And that's built into the player. So if I wanted it in Spanish or German, it's already, that translation engine is already built in. So it's using Google's translation engine. It's tapping into that to do this, the translation.
Does the user get to decide what they
Yep.
want?
Yep. And so I'm zoomed in a
Live
little
in the
too
future.
far. There were actually several in there because again, it's using Google's code. I don't know how I got there today, but I found a way to get to a whole list of different languages. So I thought that was an interesting element. In addition, there's this backlight feature. It's a plugin for Media Element JS, but kind of like those. There's that brand of TV that puts a little. It sort of extends the picture out onto your projection on your wall. So it sort of takes a color snap of what's going on and. Ooh. So if you like that, it'll be good for your Humphrey. It'll be good for your war videos.
Yeah.
All right. Any last questions before we move on to something else? Ready for me to put you on the spot? Totally. Okay, cool. Jeff is well prepared for the demo.
You guys get to find out what I learned in 15 minutes.
Jeff's going to teach you everything you need to know about e-commerce.
Everything. Yeah.
Everything.
We're all going to be billionaires by the time we leave. We're going to hire people to come to these meetings for us.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Actually, we're going to outsource it to someone in Bangladesh or whatnot, and they're going to watch it through the live streaming.
Okay.
Let me preface this by saying that version 1.2 of Shop.
Introduce yourself. I already did when I was sitting down.
My name's Jeff. I was sitting down over there earlier. So I work with Brandon, who's not here right now, at Pixajar. We do lots of WordPress stuff, and we do the Orange County WordCamp, and we helped out with the San Diego one, which a few of you were there. I know you were there, and you were there. And a few of you were not. More of you were not. So, right off the bat, are most of you familiar with the Shop e-commerce plugin to begin with? Okay, so this is going to be brand new for a lot of you. So no one raised their hands. Sure, some of you are. I know Alex is.
Oh, yeah.
I made him do it. I paid you to do it once. Yeah, so 1.2 is coming soon. So it's the version I have is not complete, and there's still some features that aren't working, but I'll try to do my best to describe them. I'm still showing the. You guys aren't even seeing the good stuff yet, which isn't that good. Better?
No.
Depends.
Yep, there you go.
Full screen.
Say again?
You want to go display and then change the resolution. Oh, sorry.
Sorry. Lost it. We'll get there. While I am going through this, if you guys see anything that, which one should I? The big one. It's big. That's as big as it gets. I can't go bigger. I can go smaller.
Maybe because you're mirroring.
It could be. No, I don't think it was I? Oh. Yes, it was. But that's what I told it to do.
Yeah.
But he can't see what's going on.
You have to watch it small. It's not that it's all theoretical at this point anyway. Right. So this is what we're gonna do. So anyway, if you see anything that that I just gloss over and looks fun, let me know and we'll explore it together and find out what's going on. Okay, so for those of you that how much time do I have, by the way? An hour. All right. Well, there's one more plugin that was going to get shown, correct? I don't want to step on anyone's time.
No, it take about 20 minutes.
I don't think I'll need an hour.
No,
But I could go on for an hour.
20 minutes.
Okay.
I'll
Okay.
I bet you can.
I have 20 minutes. Okay. Only 20 minutes? I'm going to need an hour.
I'll meet you halfway.
For those of you that haven't used any e-commerce yet, Shop is one of the plugins you can use that works with WordPress for e-commerce. There's also PHP Commerce and
WP e-commerce.
WP e-commerce, which is now called Gold Card.
Oh.
Something else? Those are the New Zealand guys. PH Purchase? Okay.
No, PH purchases Gold Cart or Cart 66. Or, yeah.
There's like 3 or 4 that are all pretty good, and they have strengths and weaknesses. What was the first one that you said?
Shop. PHP.
Oh,
Shop.
Shop.
SHOPP.
Yeah, 2 P's, and the plugin is shopplugin.net. SHOPP plugin.net. And originally, all the shop stuff would be, there would be a shop menu item like this, everything was underneath it. So the first thing, if you've seen this before, that you're going to notice now is it's been broken up into 3, oh, it's not opening for some reason, 3 sections. So you have the shop section, the catalog section, and the setup section. So it kind of breaks it up into, so the setup is all the stuff that you do once to get your shop going. You say, I'm in America and I want to sell to America and England and Australia. And this is my tax system, and I'm using authorized.net for payments, and here's the tax structure I need. I'm using UPS for shipping and FedEx for shipping, so on and so forth. The new things in the setup section are so they've set up, it used to be when you installed Shop, it made these pages that you see in the Shop, the account, so on and so forth, for you in your pages. And the problem they were having was a lot of people wouldn't realize that it was making that for them. And people would go, I didn't make that page, delete, delete, delete. Not realizing they were destroying their e-commerce section. So then now they built it where these are virtual pages now. So they exist, but they don't exist in your pages system like they did before, so you're not going to delete them on accident. The good thing about this is it kind of makes them immune, and forgive me, Shorter, it's going to make them immune to caching, which is going to be upsetting on a server level, but it's good for the checkout and the accounts pages, things that need to be updated automatically, so they're not getting cached. So there's a pro and a con for that.
There is a plugin that the shop guys claim fixes it, like by making it compatible with W3 Tocache.
Yes. Yes, and I've heard this as well. So, okay, so let me back up a little bit. One thing, so it used to be they had their own set of tables, they had their own set of code. I mean, it worked with WordPress and everything, but now they integrated with the custom post types, which is new with WordPress, not immediately new, but relatively new. And they also built their own taxonomies, such that one of the problems they had with Shop was that it didn't work with a lot of plugins that worked on posts. So things that were very specific to posts, like add author name or add SEO for this post, all that stuff's going to work now, or so the theory goes. We'll see. Yeah, so now we have our, and you can change if you're not happy with, if you don't want your shop called Shop because you sell handbags and you want it to be called The Bag. You can still change the name of these pages here if you like. The other thing that's new, which is actually very cool, is this images section. Unfortunately, this isn't working yet, but you can see just by the titles of the columns there. So this is kind of like going into your config file, or some people say config file, and adding in, I need thumbnail size X by Y and XX by YY, and I want this one to be, what do they call it, the true and false, and you want them to be conform to the thumbnail size. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? There's a name for it, I can't think of it. And if you don't know what about it. What's that?
Aspect ratio.
Thank you. The aspect ratio. You can force it to be, you know, this little thing, or you can make it kind of soft, where it makes sure it fills the images or the dimensions you want, or anyway. But you can set a bunch of those up in here rather than having to go to the config file and saying I need these 5. You know, I need my hero image, I need my small thumbnail, I need a medium thumbnail. You can set those all up right here, as well as set their quality and the sharpness, which is also very nice. But again, this one we can't. Nothing's happening here, so all theoretical. Okay, so let's see. I tried to write down things I don't remember to say. Oh, they will do subscriptions and recurring billing now. Ooh. Not membership, so I want to make that very clear. You can't, so you still want to use something else for membership, but subscriptions and recurring billing. So if someone's, you can almost do membership with recurring billing, but you can't restrict content. Am I done? Is that the?
It was a bike. It was a bike going by.
Okay. So that's where it's supposed to be in there. But I haven't seen that for how to set up a product like that yet. Maybe, I don't know. Let's see. If that's, yeah, do you want to buy now something?
Yeah.
It's between $1 and $4.
What's the price range?
Yeah. Well, it depends on, where is it? Here it is. Here's the awesome Texas. It's around $1, right? But if you get the large one, and you get it in green, I mean, that's the cool one, right? That's like the white iPhone. You got to have that one.
But there's a delay.
This is not new in this version. I want to say it was like 118, but it is an important thing to point out. There used to only be one variation
section.
Little
drop down menu.
Yeah.
So if you sold T-shirts and you had small through XL, and then you had 10 colors, it would make a drop down and say small green, small blue, small red, medium green, medium blue, medium red. You could just if you had 10 colors, that was a long thing. So they broke it up into two. So first you pick one, and then you pick the other, which is.
Can you price the variations?
You can. I'll show you that. I know how to do that. That's not from this new version though. So with awesome thing, I checked this right here, this variance, which means there's variations on this product. I also check feature products, so there's things you can do, like on the homepage, show the feature products in that carousel. It's a way to flag products. Separate packaging is new. Oh, so is processing time. Apparently there's new options. I'm not sure what to do with them yet. So down here under pricing, we have this variation options menu. So I made one. I said there's one called size. I made a small and large. We could add a medium. And then I made color. And we can make a third one called other, for lack of a good. So now each of these products will have 3 variations, and those variations have the options that I put in here. You can put in, again, as many. I've only put 2 in each of these. Oh no, I put it on there. And then down below, you'll see each of the variations gets its own box right here. So a small blue other right is $1. Small blue other left is $10. Because left-handed people should not be catered to. They're the devil. And you can set up different shipping. Yes.
Related to that also, is there any option for like multiple vendors?
You mean like drop shipping and where it's coming from?
No, let's say you're at one site, but you're selling products from multiple vendors. You want those orders to go out to multiple different vendors depending on who the product was.
Not without coding it yourself. You can. There's hooks where you can tell it when this is purchased, send up this email, send up that email. But you have to put that in manually.
Okay.
So the hooks exist, the automation does not. And always don't forget to save it. Blue button is the most important. Let's see, what sidetracked me onto the post types, built the taxonomies. The WordPress multi-language plugin should work with an S. A lot of people, they want to sell to France, Germany, wherever, and that plugin used to not work. It's a specific plugin for translations. I've never tried using Shop with the Google translation, so that may or may not work as well. I'm not sure.
How about currency? If you translate it, but it's still going to be in US dollars, or?
It's going to be in US dollars because it needs to be where you're based in. Now, as far as showing them what their equivalent price is, they usually don't do that because currencies fluctuate so often that you don't want to put something and have a market crash or inflate and you get yeah. Unless you have an asterisk in there always, price is subject to my whim. Let's see. Categories are fairly similar. I don't think they changed anything there, although except that they got their own categories and tags both have their own little menu item now, which this will look very familiar if you've used tags in the post section. There's really nothing different there. Promotions are not new, but for those who have not seen this plugin yet, this is actually one of the strongest points about Shop as an e-commerce plugin. So, of course, you have to set up special codes or free shipping, things like that. You can do amazing things. Let's see, we'll call this promotion 1. Promotion phone. You can say whether the promotion actually works or not, so you can set up things ahead of time. You can also put a duration, So we could say we could have a promotion for starting today, ending on Wednesday, and then we say what kind of thing we're. So we can take percentage off. We can take a flat amount off. We can get free shipping, and we can do buy one get two free, or probably buy two get one free. That tends to be for a per product thing. It's not buy two of anything and get a hat free. But what makes this really nice is you can say, so let's say we want to give $5 off, but we want to be very specific about who we give. It's not just in general. So we can say, we can make all these conditions. We can say when, or you can say any or all. So we can make a bunch of conditions and say if any of them match, give them $5 off. Or we can say if all. And we can apply the discount to, so you can do it to catalog product, which means it's a product that's sitting in the shop that somebody has not put into the cart yet. So it's just sitting out there and they look at it, say, the green large is $4, but I can say make that one $1 off because Greg needs it really bad. But it'll show that in the shop before they even put it into their cart. Yes, Lauren?
Is there a way to make those promotion codes almost like an affiliate link of some sort, where you can track an inbound link to actually use it for like affiliate sales, where you can actually track a sale, that way the affiliate can get paid?
You could, or I know Affiliate Royale is getting ready to hook into 1.2. Affiliate Royale is written by the same guy who did Pretty Link Pro, if you guys happen to use that, which is a cool plugin. Blair Williams. This spoke at Orange County WordCamp 2 years ago. But there is an affiliate program you can use that specifically hooks into shop. So you don't have to mess with this and make a weird jerry-rig version of that. But I think you could, if you just wanted the challenge.
No, I'm good.
So we can apply the discount to the catalog product, which again is sitting in, we can do it to something that's in the shopping cart that hasn't been purchased yet, or to a cart item which is kind of in the final purchasing phase. So in this case, we'll say to a cart item. So again, here's the conditions of when we're going to give this $5 off. We can say if the category, and then you have all these conditionals, is equal to, not equal to, contains. Say if the category has awesome in it. Or if the price is greater than $3. And again, you can make as many of these as you want. There's a lot of, it can get nutty. But most importantly is, I'm not seeing it. You can put a, oh wow. Sorry. Ship to country. Nice, that's a new one. With the, here it is, promo code. Promo code is equal to code. You can also limit the amount of uses as well. So you can say, this code can be used 10 times, and you can still have the date in there. So it'll shut this promotion off either when the amount of times is used or the date, whichever happens first. So a lot of people like to use this for like Twitter and Facebook things. The next 10 people to buy with this code get $5 off. Yeah. But if only 9 of them use it and the 2 days expire, then it just goes out too. Although you can change the date if you wanted to wait for that one more person to come through. But again, that's one of the things that makes Shop in particular very, very cool is the promotions.
How's it deal with taxes?
Taxes,
you can set the tax rates up there.
Yeah, so you can set the tax rates. They try and do a good job. The hardest thing with taxes, or I think with shipping and anything, is the internationalness of it, for lack of a proper word. So they have to have a tax system that works for everyone, and it's when I was talking to the shop guys about this, it's insane. Because like in America, it depends on where you are, but in other places it depends on where the buyer's coming from. Sometimes both those things can matter. But in a weird way, like so, if you're selling from India and they buy from England, you have to charge them, but from America, then not. And yeah, it's brutal. But but there are some things that you can calculate taxes, yes or no. You can say whether the taxes should include the shipping price or not, or be calculated like the subtotal level. When you put in the rates, which may or not be, I don't think that's set up on this, and that's the one where you say, if the buyer's from California, which if we had a store here, we'd say anyone from California gets charged, I think your local county's tax, and anyone else in the U.S. is free to not pay tax. That would be under the rates here, which again is not in this system yet. Are there any other questions so far? Yes.
On the promotions, are you able to? You can do email blasts from shop, correct? Once it's
you can email. I think you can email your customers.
Okay.
But it doesn't build like a mailing list of just people who are might be interested. I would actually use something like MailChimp or Constant Contact or something like.
Okay.
For two reasons. One, you never want to get listed as or get blacklisted as a spammer. Right. Once you do, whether it's true or not, getting off that list is almost impossible.
Right.
So that it puts the onus on MailChimp or whomever to regulate your.
Okay, perfect. So use one of them, and do you know if you can get that promotion that you just set out, that awesome promotion, and shoot it out?
Yeah, because
it'll be the banner and the whole.
Yeah, but it's going to depend on what the promotion is. So if it's a code, you're going to want to email out the code and say you have to use this code between these days to get whatever. But if it's just everything in T-shirts is on 10% off today, you would just send out a link to the T-shirts category.
Okay.
I think to try and drive traffic into that.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, but I mean, there's even though those pages are virtual, there are pretty links for every product, every category. Tags, what are the other taxonomies they have in there that you can make links for as well? There's another one thing that Shop has is something called smart categories. So not only do you have your categories that you set up, again, t-shirts, pants, whatever your store is selling, but you can also have categories for new products and there's some other ones I can't think of them right now, but one of the new ones that they added was this one here, recently viewed. So it kind of keeps track of what you're looking at as a customer, which I know Amazon does that a lot. And then they always try and come back to you. You want this too, right? And this. Oh, you're right. I did want that. Even though I was shopping for my wife, but Christmas time. That's the only time I shop at Amazon is for Christmas, and not anything's for me. So when I go back to Amazon next Christmas, they say, "You want all this stuff, right?" That's not at all what I want.
And Jeff, one more thing on the promotions.
Yes.
Can you do multiple promotions?
You can. Okay. Yeah, you can do as many as you want. Like I said, tons of them.
Does it
when
have
someone
a related products feature?
Yes,
if you're buying
there
a
is.
T-shirt, you might want this other T-shirt.
Yeah, I set that up for someone. It's in there. I think it's in the product short code somewhere. You say whether to show related products or not.
Okay. Cool.
But it is in there. But that one's based off of I think tags and mainly tags. Some other taxonomies, but tags get the most. So be careful with your tags. Those are all the new things I know. Yeah, so the main things, custom post types. They use custom post types now. They reduce the amount of new tables they add to the database considerably, so the database is smaller, which is nice. Which they also added caching for queries, which should make the database calls faster for the general shop and everything. The menus have 3 sections now. Like I said, the setup you'll do once, or sometimes you'll go in there and fiddle with it if your taxes change. Catalogs is setting up your promotions and your products, but your bread and butter is going to be in the shop one here, which is your orders and your customers. But yes.
Is there an import feature to go from other commerce things like Virtumart, Magento, OS Commerce into this?
No. There aren't, only because the database structures are so vastly different that it would just be hard to. Yeah. Yeah, it's not as simple. Like when WordPress imports from another blog, it's almost always title, date, content. way people handle products and categories and stuff, and where they tie the tables together can be, who knows how they did it.
So as far as export, can you export, CSV, or can you generate custom reports from the back end here?
The only reports that they really have are some very basic ones. So they show you, and they put them on the dashboard, which is kind of nice, but they're nothing too intense yet. They'll just kind of show you your how many sales you've had in the last 30 days. I mean, they're good stats, don't get me wrong. What's the average price of an order? $75 per order. The average person orders 2 items. You get that kind of data. But there is no like mass upload download. So you couldn't take all your products, put it in an Excel spreadsheet, change some data, and then send it all back up. You have to still kind of go through one by one.
What about like Google Analytics tie-ins for
You can do that.
the e-commerce stuff? Do they have the hooks already set up for it, or do you have to dig around in the code and figure out where you're going to place each of the little I don't remember the term here.
It's supposed to be better now because they made a custom post type. So again, theoretically, products and categories should work exactly the same as posts and categories, which is what they're trying to go for. I was talking to both the Johns. There's 2 guys named John that do most of the programming for Shop. We call them the Johns. Not to be confused with the Johns They Might Be Giants, if you're a Giants fans, which are also 2 Johns that write the songs. Okay. You know the Johns. Good podcast. Yes.
Karen, if you have 100 products you're putting in since you can't upload, can you do a copy and modify
Yes.
similar products?
So when you're editing products, you can do. I'm sorry, I know I still answer your question.
Very cool.
Yeah, so it'll cut down. Oh wait, sorry, that's not the local one. So awesome thing is a big seller. I made awesome thing too. Duplicate. So I'll make it. Or theoretically it will. It does in the current version, which is stable, very stable, if the Johns are watching. And I'm sure it will be working when 1.2 comes out as well. But yes, there is that. So that it will help if if you're selling a lot of t-shirts and they're all, you don't have to put the variations every time, small, medium, large, XL. So it'll move all those things over, all the variations, and the prices will go with it as well. Jason, did I answer your question?
No, but what you were showing before had to do with that there's pages that are already pre-built for those. So you could, if you wanted to, just hook them into that, right?
Yes.
So as it goes through the life cycle of the process of ordering, you could set those hooks for each of those pieces up.
Right.
And figure out in Google Analytics, where'd the person bail out, or did they actually make a purchase, or how much of a purchase did they get, and then you can kind of get all the information there.
Right.
Okay.
And I think you could also hook Jetpack up to it too, which I don't know if that'd be better or worse, but I'm curious to try. Yes.
Does this allow for digital downloads?
Yes, it does. Let me do product types.
And that's not asking.
Oh, look, there's a copy now. So let's say, on the end, here's the coolest part about that too. So let's say with my awesome thing. So the small blue right, this one is a shipped item. This other variation could be a virtual item, which is, again, it's just kind of it's not even a download. It's just like you get something. I don't know. It's up to the end user on how to make them happen. But there is download, and then it wants a file. This is where's the file, and you would upload it. There's also donation. Subscription is the recurring billing that's been added into this one. And then you can even do billing cycles. So every day, charge them. You don't want it, don't we? $1 million. No, we'll only do it once a week. Let's not be ridiculous. And then there's disabled, which is, so let's say, again, if it's t-shirts and you're out of the blue small left-handed t-shirt, you can disable it. So you're not actually deleting it and taking it out of the system. You're just making it not visible to the user. So yes, virtual downloads are there. Yes.
Can you manipulate tags, or do you have to do strict code for like things like price range and price range buying, say, for t-shirts?
Okay, so there's the way
$10 to
that
$20. You can press on that, and it pulls up 50 different items between 10 and 20 bucks.
you mean like a search?
Sorta. What search you've been searching in your shop?
There's a general search. I don't think there's like a parameter type search.
You went to Nordstrom.com.
Yeah, and you could say I want a gift between $20 and $30.
Yeah, it would search it for all the related items to that search, and then give you that.
Right. I don't think that's in there.
Could you color it in there?
I think you could. Sure. No, I think it's you though, right? You could. You can make it kind of Ajaxy, slick if you. I want to say yes. Like 30-second review of what that was. It's likely. It's not. It's not automatically in here though. Definitely not that. That's not the case. Any more questions? Yes.
So the postal calculation, how functional is that? Will it figure out how to group items together? Like I noticed there's a feature now where it says shipment of packaging, right? Which
Right.
theoretically imply, okay, well this is definitely going to ship apart from other objects. But does it attempt to actually calculate what size box to use for the shipping, or does it just basically say use an uplift of X per item, or you identify that on a per product basis?
It's a little bit up to you. So you can set it up if all your stuff kind of weighs the same. You can. So you do shipping. Well, first of all, shipping is going to be based on if you're doing FedEx or
UPS.
UPS, yeah. So it's going to go out to UPS and say I've got 2
so
pound
it's
package. But you can put in there's 2 ways you can do products. Let me go back down here. So right now I have it set up by weight. So I could say this one's I don't know. I think it's an ounce, not a pound. Or you can set it up to be kilograms if you're metrically inclined. But you can also say you go by dimensions instead of weight. So it'll say how many cubic inches is this thing. With the setting up separate downs, I don't know yet because I haven't seen that. Although we could probably try it, see what happens.
So, but it does have enough intelligence to go out and actually use FedEx or UPS for calculating all the shipping information.
Right.
To the extent that it does or doesn't know that it can group items together in one package to ship.
Correct. You can also, on a per variation basis, you can add money on. So if you know something's, UPS always says it's a $3 ship. I know it's $5. I'm going to add $2 onto that. And you can also add in the settings, I think. Let's see, shipping. I think you can set up a handling fee. So it's just like a flat fee. No matter what UPS says, add on $3. Kind of a thing.
The eBay tax.
Oh, I'm sorry?
It's the eBay tax.
That's right. Let's see, yeah, so packaging, here we go. Packaging is all together by weight, all together by dimensions, only like items together, or each separately. Okay. Apparently are your options. That'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
Yeah, that's
to the end user.
I'm sure Amazon has spent millions and millions trying to figure that one out. So.
I'm sure they have, and that always changes too, which is that's rough.
Yeah.
Yes.
Does it support other payment gateways besides authorized.net?
It does. The ones, sorry?
You have to buy the extensions for it.
Okay, there's a separate extension.
Yeah, so the one, it'll come with these ones. So the 2-checkout Google, both PayPal or 2 kinds of PayPals. Authorized.net's extra, and I think there's.
I use First Data with Bank of America. You have to buy, it's $25 for the First Data plugin.
Okay.
But only once. You don't have to do it each time to set it up, which is nice.
Sure.
You can write your own gateways. They're actually not that hard. We've done a couple.
Okay.
It's usually, because it goes, it's just the processing that needs to get done. And
If
usually there's a
it's
sample.
$25, and they've already written it.
Oh, no, I absolutely agree with that. Yeah, like, this one is a paid plugin, by the way. I didn't preface that either. But I think it's $55, which is, if you were to go build this on your own, whatever your hourly is, I'm sure it would be more.
My hourly is 5 cents.
And still, you really, yes. I'm positive.
You run your own little Odesk.
I'll remember that.
Yeah. Well, that's not how I tell my clients, but that's typically what I earn.
You know, yeah.
That's what it feels like, doesn't it? No, I've calculated it out. That's about the end.
You should be happy.
Should be happy.
Any other? Yes.
Limitations to quantity.
Quantity as far as
products.
How many people can buy?
No, how many
That
products?
would be
you
all.
have
How many
on
products
the site?
shown?
No, same as post. You can put thousands in there. It's not gonna.
And limitations on shop or WordPress, either one.
Where you're gonna run into trouble is concurrent users. Same as WordPress. You know, you want to be on a server that can handle. I mean, if you're selling 2 or 3, I don't know, tens of thousands of orders a day, then you're gonna start. I don't know. Am I accurate? Or?
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, you're gonna want to get a server that's gonna handle whatever you're gonna do.
Right.
But you're
But
gonna
also
benefit-
caching.
Yeah, you're gonna benefit
That's the
from some
biggest
sort of
thing.
caching mechanism.
Yeah.
You know, that's how you offset the load is by putting
Yeah.
in something like W3 Total Cache, WP Super Cache,
Right.
something along those lines, and you're gonna increase your simultaneous users.
Right.
Yeah.
Although I
that'll-
will tell you this though, if you're selling that many things, you should be able to hire someone that can
Right. But we
manage
wanted
the
to
servers
more
and
just
everything.
like 500 products up there. Is that too much for any one of these to handle?
Oh, no,
1,000
no, no.
products or anything? There's no
No,
issue.
that's chump change. You can
Okay.
do that.
Yeah.
The trouble is for you to have to go and remember to change things when if you if there's a product description that needs to change, you gotta go and find the product. And
no, it's not fun.
No, although I think much like
APIs.
much like Post, you can search and it'll filter out. So if you do have 500 products, which is however many pages, and something's in the title, you can type that in, type search, and it'll shorten it up for you.
They have inventory control for you as well, and also reorder points.
It does. Let's see if I can remember where that is. So, inventory checkbox right here, whether to monitor it or not.
Then you can load your own number.
Yes.
Number 10. Track.
There's 10 in there, and there's a. Let's see, I think it's in settings actually, where if any product is. Let's see.
Yeah.
It's in here somewhere. I want to say yes. I don't really remember where that was though. But it would. You can tell like if any product gets down to 5 or whatever, email me. And I'll say this one is low.
Yeah.
So I believe so.
Does it do table rate shipping? Like if you spend $20, it's $5 for shipping. And
No, it doesn't. You can set up a flat fee.
okay.
And you can also set up with you could cheat the promotions and say, if the cart total is over $100, just charge them $5 for shipping.
Okay.
And technically it's a promotion, but the system configuration as far as we're concerned, you could do that. Yeah.
Will the shop configure all feeding devices down in size and what you need, or how does that work compared with WordPress? Like, the full system, full site.
I'm sorry.
Like when we first started, today, talked about how depending on the device, it goes down, drops down. It drops down to the bottom of the footnotes.
Talking about the responsive design.
Yeah.
That's more your theme, I think.
Yeah. And
well,
the way
with
the
the amount of products, I'm just kind of figuring, is it going to go, or how's it going to look? Or just going to shrink the whole site to size? Or
it comes with 2D. Again, it is very much like themes. You can make your own templates and make them do all kinds of nice stuff, which we've done. But the 2 default things are kind of a grid view. So it's image, and you can say I want 5 columns, 4 columns, and I want 15 per page, and it'll do the pagination for you. Or you can do the display view where it's like a thumbnail description, add to cart. But the templating is actually very nice as well because it's separated from the themes. So if you upgrade your theme, your shop templates are not touched. But so you can say I want the checkout page to look like this, and there's kind of like the themes. There's there's short codes for I want the product image, then I want product thumbnail, I want the product title, product minimum price, product maximum price, product sale price, description. You can
get detailed.
You can get crazy with it. Yeah, the trick with that though is sometimes people get overzealous, and then when shop upgrades or your theme upgrades, it kind of gets a little jumbled sometimes. So simpler is almost always better. You have another question?
Yes, you were talking about how you could put an image in there, product image, and then tell it at what size you want your thumbnail and your all your different image sizes. Can you put a video link to that thumbnail? And it's you click on a thumbnail on product and have it pop up a video instead. Let's say.
You could. So you would want to make your own template with that. You make the video the link around the image. So you have an anchor tag, image short code, and in the anchor tag, that's where you're gonna have your link to the video. And you can do it, through a mobile window or pop up in a new window. The real trick is getting it to dynamically know what the video link should be. And you could add, I suppose, kind of
just embed in your description maybe, and would it give
you
you
gotta
a
be able to
video?
pull it out though. It'd be better as a
One, do it again.
No.
Oh,
Sorry, you missed your window.
I'm sorry. My eyes didn't focus very well.
What do they call it in post when you put in custom
Metadata?
thing and
Meta box?
Yes. So I think you could add in a meta box that would say, what's the video link for this product? So that you can then grab that and just drop it in. Because again, it's a dynamic page that this is what the product page looks like. And so it goes, go get the product title, get the product image, and in your case, grab the product video link. Which again, we should be able to.
Closing question.
Okay.
Alright, so for the people that have experience with the other e-commerce solutions that are out there, how does this compare to Card66 or WP e-commerce, or is this more
The
comprehensive?
promotions
less?
sound really awesome.
Okay.
Compared to WP e-commerce, doesn't really have that capability.
Okay.
It was real hacky to make that work. For
Right.
WP e-commerce. Yeah.
Is this more extensive, more comprehensive than WP?
Yeah, it's more dynamic with in terms of the couponing.
Okay.
Yeah. Out of the box, it's great. To get some custom functionality out of it, you do need to play with their API and
You're talking
everything.
about this or WP
Shop.
e-commerce? Shop. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What about Card66? No?
Yeah.
You like it? Is this how different is?
I have to play around with it.
Okay.
I do have a
But I think
question.
it's the kind of
It
thing
has
that,
a lot of the same features.
okay.
This might be easier to get to it, that's all I'm looking.
But I think it's one of those things that's just what you're comfortable with. Like I want hybrid and I want Genesis and I want Basis. It's
Why'd you point at Lauren?
What?
You pointed at Lauren?
I did.
You
Pointing at me.
Specifically. Again, you spend a lot of energy getting good at something you don't want to.
Yeah.
It's frustrating, with anything in life, but if you're working with a new e-commerce system and you're used to something else and all I want is a product image and you can't figure out how to do it, it's frustrating. And I knew if I was in this other system, I could just do it. So I understand
But
that.
the issue with something like this is once you've gone down this path and you've invested all that time and you have 500 products,
Yeah.
you're set. I mean, it's going to be really tough to
No,
change
it's true.
at that point.
And Brandon and I, we use this one a lot for two reasons. One, we've used them all, and this is the one we were most happy with. But the other benefit is at this point we talk to the developers this a lot too, so we have an in as well when we have a serious question, which is incredibly useful.
How's their support?
The support's pretty good. The trick is if you got to catch them at the right time. Sometimes they'll be working on getting a new release out, and it really is mainly these two guys. They have some helpers, but if they're getting ready for a release, they're working 24 hours a day for the last week or two. And so when you go on the support page, they have like a little window. Your question will be answered in 24 to 48 hours, but sometimes you go there and be like 3 to 7 days. If you're in a pinch, that's frustrating.
Yeah, if you are in a pinch, you can pay extra to escalate your support ticket, and I think it's like $45 or $55. So I guess it depends on what level of agony you're experiencing.
Or you can hit a Ballard on Skype.
Or you can hit me up on Skype, and I'll probably ask Jeff. So.
That's true.
Yeah.
Support
I'm
via proxy.
I'm on Skype. I'm on Google Plus and all that stuff. So.
Sorry, just one extra.
Okay,
thing. So this details and specs. This would be a place we could stick in a video link. So we could say we can have a detail that's like video link, and we can give it a value over here. And when we go to the product page in the template, we would say, grab the video link detail spec. And if it's there, then put it in as link. If not, just put the image. That would be a way around that. And it would just, again, to be in the template system.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Jeff, thank you so much.
You're very welcome. It wasn't easy though. That was the thing.
You still gotta push it.
I wonder if Kat's watching. Are you watching, Kat? Are you watching online?
She is.
Yes, she
Is
is.
she? Are you gonna tweet me so I can hear my phone? Actually, my phone doesn't work right now.
Ready? You ready?
Sorry.
You still have to push these buttons.
Mm-hmm.
It's divided.
Thank you.
Sure.
Craig,
So,
also.
right now it's
Hang on. Go to Apple.
Oh. Is it an app for remember?
For Android?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's right.
Oh yeah, definitely.
This stuff is.
I just type in your email address there.
Yeah. You're good. Out of the way. We all set. All right, go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Greg Franklin, and I'm a developer, and I have a lot of clients that I've been trying to figure out the best way to provide them support, and I was looking for an inexpensive way, and I was even considering just writing something at the front screen that gives them, when they walk into the dashboard, it shows them something. And I came across this plugin. It's called WP Help, and it is excellent. And it was actually promoted recently on WP Candy. And let me show you what it does. So when you download it and install it, it adds this new publishing help underneath dashboard, and it does use custom post types. And so you can come in and manage help documents. And just hit add new. And it looks like everything else in WordPress. So just add your title, add any, if you want to add a video, you can do that. You can add all kinds of different things, and it creates a tree structure. But the best thing about it, the thing that I like the most, is you can actually come down, after you've developed this great big menu of all the different things that you want to share, you can actually export it and then import it back in. So you did design it once and put it on each client's. Import.
So for a plugin like this, what would you say is the best use case for it? Like, who would make the best use of a plugin like this?
A developer that's providing a WordPress site.
Okay.
And they want to hand it off and allow the client to go ahead and be able to use all the functions. In a moment, I'll show you one of the things that I did was, if you're setting up a site that has a lot of short codes, a lot of end users don't remember them. So they're calling you or asking you or anything like that. And so this provides some kind of documentation for them to be able to use that.
Question.
So here is one that's complete.
Great question.
Is this for like WordPress things, or can it be a tutorial system for anything?
It could be a tutorial system for anything. It just happens to be called WP Help. So you could, it's all on the back end. It would not be for the front end. So it's not for someone that's visiting the website. It's for someone who's using the website and is coming in through the dashboard. So you can see I created an introduction page. You could actually put some advertising if you're a developer and you wanted to suggest that you're going to do backups for them or anything like that. You can do that. But you can see I've actually underneath dashboard I've got a video. We talked about the short codes. And so you just create all this, just like writing a post, but be able to provide all these for the client. Even to the point where if you've added plugins, you could actually come down and write, I don't think I've written anything for these yet, but if you have an FAQ plugin, you could write a whole, exactly how to use that. Sliders. So you could build this out any way that you want to as far as the structure, and if you wanted to go ahead and write either in text or in video, you can attach it all, and when you're all done, just come down to the tools, export it out, and save it for your next one.
Can you export yours that you made?
Yes, I can.
And give it to us?
And one of the great things about WordCamp, I actually met a guy who wants to do videos, and he wants to just give them. And so I don't know how serious he was. He has my number, and we're going to possibly get together, and he totally wants to just make them. And if he does that, believe me, I will put him inside this WP Help, and I will make them available to everybody here. So we'll cross our fingers and hope he is somebody that's going to do what he says he will.
What, like tutorials for WordPress?
Yes, yes. You can buy them right now. WP 101 has a set that you can buy. I think it's $3.95, but it has their branding. But they have one for $5.95. It gives it unbranded. So you could actually buy that set and put them into this.
iThemes has a whole.
iThemes has them. I think even WP has a set. So there's a lot of companies trying this kind of thing right now to make videos to do that. But even with that, it would be nice if there was a way that, and that's where I think this plugin comes in. A client can easily go to the dashboard, go to Publishing Help, and go, you'll see the tree right there and go right to what you need. So.
Well, you could do, I'm assuming it works like a regular post. You could then post your own videos on there. That way, if you're making your own,
that's correct.
Use like Media Element JS and put your own video in there.
That's correct.
Can you monetize that and have that all there and say click here and then it goes to pay now and you unlock the video? You know what I mean? So that's there and
just iframe it or something. Yeah.
Okay, I don't want to get the whole WP 101. I just need to know Media Element from here.
I'm sure you could.
For premium videos.
This one right here is one of the most common things I get emailed about is they'll forget that they can use different shortcodes for lists. They won't remember the color or the list type in this situation where they can use an arrow or a check mark, or they'll have forgotten all about those. So all these are just right there for them to use.
Now with the things you're just showing with like the lists and such, is it pulling in using the CSS from the whatever theme is turned on currently, or is that would you have to kind of hack away a little bit to make that possible?
You're right on the money on this.
Because people are, they look at it and they're like, well, this is showing blue, but I'd really like it to be green, and on the side it says green, and just that sort of thing. It's not 100% correct between the two worlds.
I did have to hack this plugin a little bit to do the shortcodes and things like that. You're correct. You're correct. I do actually think there might be a way to maybe hook in to the CSS of the site. That would be really handy, and I think there's probably a way to do that.
That's cool.
Is it free plugin or is it free?
Totally free. Any other questions?
Can you? That's a YouTube video right there. Can
Yes.
you add the URL to a self-hosted video?
Yes.
Okay.
And by the way, I did the embed on this. These were just pasted in links to create these.
It
does work. It works.
This is WP-help is the name of it.
Yay.
We've got a few more minutes left. Anything anybody else wanted to bring up? Questions? General WordPress stuff? Stuff we talked about tonight? Yeah.
General question.
Yeah.
Any suggestions on membership plugins?
Yes, I'm gonna pose that to the group. There are a few, but the question was suggestions for membership plugins.
We just used the WPMU dev one that's called membership, and that one was, there's a bunch out there, but that one we liked because it was one of the only ones that we found that was actually open source. The rest are all encrypted, so you can't actually get into them and change anything.
Isn't S2 member open also?
Yeah, that one might be actually, but there was a
Yeah.
reason we didn't use that one, which I don't remember right now. But we've been very happy with the membership plugin. The one that's called membership.
It's called
membership. It's this one right here.
There's a lot of people here that use another one.
Membership.
Yeah, which is members.
I've heard. I haven't used it personally, but I hear S2 member used dimensionalized. Anybody using this?
Yeah.
Website? Yeah.
Yeah, I have a few sites that are really successful with it.
Okay. And this ties into PayPal.
Yes.
Yeah, it does.
Correct? Okay. Great. Does that help? Yeah. What else?